Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and it's Friday. Yes it is, and I hope you're all going to have a fabulous weekend. I'm going to be running around the garden, I think, in these temperatures, just holding up sheets and, you know, like a mad woman, protecting all my vegetables. That's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, never mind. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. Right, so what are we doing today? We are doing a Let's Make This, and it's Panalisa, and we're using these. Now, this set comes with centres, but I'm not using the centres, I'm just using these. So those do come if you want to pop something in there. I'm going to be using Distress Oxide in Lost Shadow, and I've got my Doodah, which is an ink blender. We're also using these again. Now, I did share yesterday on, oh, here it is, on the poppy card, used it as a sentiment. You do have those extra little bits that turn it into a tag. So what I decided to do today, and I already made it, is turned it into a double tag so that I could use it as a belly band. So what I did, hopefully I'm not all blurred, is popped a bit. Yeah, let's get in there. Ooh, I think that's probably as good as I'm going to get right now. He's popped a bit on each end so I could create a belly band, and then just threaded it through like a tag, but with extra long string. And that twine is from Dollar Tree. Yeah, so that's Dollar Tree's Baker twine on there, and I've used a very old stamp from my stash, and I'm trying to think what set this comes from. Oh, it's really old. Clear stamps, I think they were called. But it's ancient, that's all I'm going to say. But it's such a lovely sentiment, and it's a pity. Oh, there we go. And it's all like dotty and vintage. I just love that. Well, anyway, we're using that as a belly band. Now, I've already coloured in one of my rosettes, and I'm kind of treating them as a Christmas theme today. And I've done that in barn door, and then just touched the edges with a little bit of fired brick. But the two smaller ones are white, and I'm going to show you how to shade those using Lost Shadow. So I'm just going to move that out of the way, and then for my card base I'm using a digital pack Cartabella, and I think this one is A Very Merry Christmas. And I'm using the background, which gives you the whole story when you actually look at it of the night before Christmas. So there you go. Went all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. But it's just wonderful. It's a great colour as well. So that's going to be my base, which will then go onto a white card base. So as I've done these bits, I'm going to move those out of the way, and we're going to do the white bits. Right, in order to do that, I'm going to need my scruffy mat. I don't need my big one because I've already coloured that one in. I'm moving my tags out of the way, and I'm getting my scruffy mat, and hopefully my camera is going to focus. Right, so to shade these, all I'm going to do is pop them straight back into the die. So I have shut my blinds because the sunlight is so bright. And I can see there's one there I haven't poked out. Right, that is going to drive me nuts, so I have to do it. And just scratch it out of the back. There we go. Now that is cut out. So to do this, just pop your die straight back in. I'm just going to flip that over and put it down on my mat. So I'm going to do exactly the same with this one. Just straight back into the die and flip it over. That's right, I thought I hadn't poked that one out as well. Right, so I'll show you how to do one, and then I'll just run off and do the other. So we're just going to ink up our blending tool. Now, if you've got a stencil brush, you can absolutely do that as well. Why I didn't do it, I don't know, but I'm going to try it with this first. So just move that one. Make sure that it's all in. You can feel it kind of clicks down on the paper, and then just go in you can wash your dye. It's not going to go rusty on you. And we're just going to do that, and then I'm just going to hold it down in the inky bit and do the other side. And you have to excuse my throat. We've had all kinds of smoke and stuff blowing across, and the sky was really hazy yesterday. It was so hot. I think we were at like 100 by 11 o'clock. Right, now I hope that has picked up some ink, but we're going to pop it out and find out. So I've got a little bit of a design on there, and I'm just going to do exactly the same on that one, and I'll be right back. Right, so that's done, and as you can see, they're not exactly perfect, but I don't know, it just adds a little bit of interest, I think. And now I'm just going to brush around the edges with this, and I'm just going to go in one direction. So just remember which way you're turning it in your hand, and that'll give a little bit of a drop shadow onto those points. There we go. Let's hope that shows up. There we are. My lovely mucky fingers. But it just adds a little bit more interest, and I think it's pretty. I'm going to do exactly the same thing with this one, and just track it around the edges. And then I'm going to move my scruffy mat, run off and wash my hands, and we can put this really quick card together. Right, I'll be back in a minute. Right, so those are all inked up, and I've tidied up my mess, and you can just see they just look nice with a little bit of detail onto them. There you go. Just a little bit of stenciling. It's kind of my folk artish snowflakes. That's what they are. Right, and I have put some foam on my first base, and what I need to do is I need to position this onto here first. So I think that's going to go about there, and I want it in the center. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do before I flip it over and peel the back off the first base. So I want this in the center, and I hope that I'm getting it on straight. So there's my winter wishes, and I've got my little tags twiddling around in the air. So all you have to do now is flip that over, and you can see I've got my foam on the back, which is going to go down onto the white card base. Just going to remove the backs off the foam. And that's what we have. And that one, of course, which gives your card a bit of support in the middle. And then, without touching down your sticky, just make sure that your strings are not tangled up. I like to spread mine out just a little bit, and then bring it around into your foam, and your foam is going to hold it there. So now I just need to trim off my excess, because I've got quite a bit there that I don't need. Anything else really is going to sort of like tuck into the card, and it's all going to be hidden, so no worries there. Right, let's have a look. Make sure that they're at the same doodahs, and I'm just pushing them down again. Now what you can do, if you want to, you can touch a little bit of glue there, but yeah, I think I'll do that as well, actually. Because that would be the sensible thing to do, is just to have a little bit of glue on your string for contact. Now you can see that one has twanged off because I just didn't push it down enough. Right, so I've got a couple of little beads of glue there. I'm going to to flip it over and make sure everything's looking all right. So that's basically what it looks like, and I'm just going to stand up so that I can put this down, hopefully centrally and straight. And then you can press that down now, because of course you've got your glue that's also going to hold it. Now I'm sitting back down. Make sure they're all spaced evenly and push. Right, so really all you've got to do now is kind of arrange your snowflakes onto your card, and just really simple and quick. Now if you wanted to, we could use one of our wobblies and put it on there. I'm not going to do that today, but you could certainly do that. Right, so my biggest red one is going to go, and I'm only doing a few dots in between these bits, just enough to hold it down. And I want it here. I do want it within my borders today. She said sliding it around. So we've got that one, and then I'm going to go for my larger one up there. Well, I hope everyone's going to have a wonderful weekend. I mean, my advice would be stay home with the AC and sit under a fan. Yeah. But no, I'm just going to run around the garden trying to shade everything. So we've got that one there. And then I'm just going to have my little one. So these would look really pretty done in glitter as well. And they'd make fabulous 4th of July rosettes done in red, white and blue. That would look great. I'll tuck that one down in there. I'm going to put the pin back in my glue. And that is what I have for you today. So I'm going to pick that up so you can have a look. Just a little bit of stenciling through the die, and it looks really kind of folk arty. And I love that little bit of baker twine. And I love that tag because, you know, as I showed you, you can have a regular sentiment using it. You can double it as a belly band, or just have one of those on, and of course you'll have the fishtails, and you've got a really sweet little tag, and you can do them with different colour tops, which is great. Absolutely love it. Right, I thank you so much for joining me today. Have an absolutely awesome weekend. As usual, all links below, and who knows what I'm going to be up with on Monday. I'm going to be up with something, don't know what, but please join me. Bye.